Hello and welcome to Give and Take, the positives in life. And today's topic is project education. And we have a wonderful guest from across the ocean, not the pond, but the ocean, who will introduce himself and tell us all about this wonderful, great project that he's doing. So welcome.
Uh, I am Himanshu Sharma. I
Okay.
am the founder of Project Education.
Okay.
Uh, Talk little about project education before we get into our further discussion.
Sure.
Well, you know, we have seen, we all are aware about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the advantage of sustainable development goals that will eventually come for our community and for our future generations. But then one thing which we have realized is that students are not working towards sustainable development goals the way they should be.
Okay.
In the name of sustainable development goals, all the organizations, including educational institutions, are asking them to create posters, do gigs, create events, and showcase the quality that they are, bringing in. But at the end of the day, they are no groundwork that they are doing. And we being the destroyer and destructor, because I always call our generation to be the destructor, because whatever is happening because of us or our past generations, previous
Correct.
generations.
Correct.
We thought we can identify the areas where we need to work upon. We can do something which is only limited to our present. But if we want to improve our future, then we have to involve our future generation right now. And our future generation is sitting in schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
This
Like
was
that.
the thought behind involving students who work towards sustainable development goals and to actually innovate solutions which are needed for present as well as for our future generations.
Okay.
So in project education, we are educating students about sustainable development goals, about the global challenges and concerns that our communities are facing, both locally and globally, and then we are asking them to do their own research based on different concerns that we are facing and how different organizations or governments are working towards it. What are the things which are needed, and gradually to innovate solutions to improve our present and future. So that was the back thought behind creating project education. Now, with project education, we simply say uh, that we are working towards sustainable development, and sustainable development is all about meeting the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet theirs.
Okay, very good. So explain a little bit about the sustainable development.
Well, United Nations in
Mm-hmm.
2015 shared 17 goals,
Okay.
and these 17 goals are are called sustainable development goals.
Mm-hmm.
Every country, every individual need to work on these 17 sustainable development goals
Mm-hmm.
to make our planet livable for our future generations. These sustainable development goals are not just climate actions or climate programs. These sustainable development goals are beyond that, right? We need to bring equity, we need to bring equality, we need to overcome the gender biasness, we need to see life underwater as well as on land, right? There are 17 goals which will define the fate and future of our planet
Okay.
and not countries. It has nothing to do with any country. It has to
Mm-hmm.
do with planet as a whole. We
Okay.
see all these global challenges these days.
Mm-hmm.
Be it poverty, be it health, be it hunger,
So
and gradually,
where would you find the information on these sustainable goals? Where would you find that?
you can go to United Nations website
Okay.
or simply type sustainable development goal on
Mm-hmm.
Google or any search engine,
Okay.
and you will see a plethora of websites talking about sustainable development goals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell us some of the things that you've been doing, because I've actually been connected with you for a little time now, and I've been seeing the wonderful collaborations that you've been doing with people in different parts of the world. It truly is global, and how schools are coming on board and being a part of this wonderful initiative, project, program that's happening. So just share a little bit about what's been happening so far.
We started project education approximately 1.5 months back.
Okay, that's it.
Prior to that, we were doing our own groundwork.
Uh-huh.
In a half month, we have reached out to schools in 60 plus countries.
Wow.
And schools from 60 plus countries have joined us as school partner for global goals, right? For sustainable development goals. The idea of bringing these school partners on board is to understand, make them understand that how collectively we all can work together towards a better future,
Okay.
you know, and how students can play a role, how teachers can play a role, because every single individual needs to play their role. This is like jigsaw puzzle. We will put the puzzle in the desired format, then only we'll be able to solve it, right? So we need every single individual to be a part of it. We thought, research is something which is not being practiced in school, atmosphere. We don't teach research at all. The only thing that students do in the name of research is they Google out information. But simply getting the information from Google does not talk about the credibility or authenticity of the information that they are getting from Google or from different websites.
That's a good point, yes. So how do you teach credible research? How do you expose children to that? And how do you teach that kind of credible research?
So what we have thought, and what we are doing is that we are giving them monthly projects. These projects are based on the information that they have to collect from different websites and different sources. Gradually, we are creating their interest in research-based practices. At the same time, just to make sure that they don't land up in authentic information, we are creating a mechanism through which they can reach out to both local and global experts to validate the information that they have collected and to work with them. We have created 4 different layers. These different layers are diplomats, global change ambassadors, ambassador for change, and leaders for change.
I understand now now I understand the concept of the project education. That's why you have all these people globally who are expertise in their area, so that the children have access to them in different ways, whether it's through your YouTube or as you're beginning to put together these conferences and whatever. I see it now. It's very good. I like that. So they can personally connect with some of these people who are experts in their fields. Wonderful. I get that, Himanshu. Very good.
They're not only connecting these people globally, but they're also connecting with these people at their local level.
At the local level, exactly.
Our diplomats are people who are supporting them at local level.
Great, great.
They'll be working with them, they'll be interacting with them on regular basis.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because I've seen some of the names and some of the titles, not that that means anything, but the richness that each of them are bringing, and for the children to have personal access to this is wonderful, because I've never really seen this kind of thing before, where you're saying it's just Google or looking at a book or whatever, but they're firsthand being able to do this. So are they going to be like webinars and that kind of things? Are they going to have that as well? You're going to do that?
Yes, there will be a lot of webinar sessions, because we do understand that people cannot travel in every country.
Right.
And however, every child has the equal right to access quality information from quality sources. So there will be a lot of webinars coming in. There will be a lot of physical seminars and virtual interactions coming in. At the same time, we are also curating a mechanism through which, if students are doing a particular research and they want to reach out to particular experts, then they'll be able to reach out to them directly.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is very, how rich is this? It's very, very good. Um, so tell us what else you're doing. How many schools have come on board with this so far, Himanshu?
So far, we have 160 plus schools.
Wow. What countries?
These are from 60 different countries:
Wow. Wow.
Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
We are covering all these six continents.
Okay, good. So now who are some of the expertise that you have who've come on board with this project education?
For example, Dr. Chris Stout. Dr. Chris Stout is one of the experts who have come on board as leader for change.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Chris Stout is, a psychologist who is also running his own organization, which is considered to be the number one organization in healthcare NGO index. They are providing healthcare services to people in Africa.
Good.
Right? They are the one who are talking about health. The same way we have Dr. Sam Agbo. Dr.
Okay.
Sam Agbo is the chief of health for UNICEF Kenya, and he's the one who is also talking about better healthcare. In the same way, we are also including various celebrities and various personalities who are also working towards the betterment of the community. Why we are involving them is because they are the youth icons. We are
Good.
also asking them to share their messages for students to work towards sustainable development goals and to understand the global goals, because they are the youth icon. Youth look up to them. They, aspire them and they want to be like them. And
Okay.
when they say that they are working towards it, it gives another kick to the student to work towards it.
Wonderful. So now, Himanshu, how would one be able to join this project education? How can we reach you if you have a website, phone number, email, whatever, Facebook? Could you tell us how we can reach you and be a part of this wonderful project that's
So
happening?
we have a very simple phenomena to reach up to us. Just go to our website projecteducation.co, not
Okay.
com.
All right.
So reach up, go to projecteducation.co,
Okay.
and you will get information about project education as in a project which we are running, and how people can collaborate with us for different activities and different work that we are doing worldwide. Right? They'll be in future they'll be also be able to see the work that students are doing, so that if they want to collaborate with students directly, they'll be able to do it.
Excellent, excellent. So you're also going to connect schools to schools, and so they can do
Right.
like a nice sharing, which is really very beneficial, very
Schools will
beneficial.
be able to connect with all the resources, be it individuals, be it organizations, corporate, or different schools which are working towards sustainable development goals. The idea is to create a community which talks about, which not only talks about, but which acts upon creating solutions which are required today as well as tomorrow.
Good. So now there's some other things that you are arranging, like you're going to collaborating to do a book. You want to, write a book or something too, right? You're having a group of people put together to write a book. I mean, you want to talk a little bit about that?
We are trying to create a book for pre-primary and primary students right now. And the main idea of creating this book is to involve younger generation towards sustainable development goals.
Okay.
However, however, we believe that the only way to involve them is to involve them via different activities that we can do in the
Okay.
classes,
Good.
and we need to club it with values and ethics,
That's what
because
you
ethics,
you must have
you
picked
know,
up on my energy because I was thinking values. I said because that's the common goal of all of us across the globe is
true,
values. That's what connects us. So if we can all
true.
be on one level of values, and we have a certain amount of values, and if we can follow those, then we are
Mhm,
one. If we can all be
mhm.
have the same values. So how are we teaching these young children with their values? How are we going to be doing that?
We are creating a book on that, and maybe by the later half of 2018, you'll be able to see a book which
Good.
is completely interactive, which is completely based on hands-on skills,
Mm-hmm.
which students can inherit right at their younger age, which is also in sync with a lot of curriculums, because we believe, we
Right.
understand that majority of the schools prefer to follow their own curriculum and they don't
Sure.
prefer to go haywire. We
Mm-hmm.
thought, let's keep all these pointers in mind before creating a book.
Right, that's very,
So
yeah,
this
because
is
the
something.
curriculum, because they've hit certain mandates across the world, they have certain mandates and criteria that needs to be met. And so all you have to do is intertwine it in regard to their curriculum, just intertwine what their needs are, and so that it's able to serve all. That's it. Lovely, Himanshu. So whereabouts are you located?
I am located in New Delhi, India.
Okay, great, wonderful. So what time is it there?
It's around 5:30 in the morning.
Okay, I appreciate you, being here to share this wonderful project that is happening. Um, Another question I wanted to ask you was, so you also want to do these conferences throughout
Mhm.
all, different countries. So you want to do like every quarter or every 4 months. How are you going to be doing that? We was discussing earlier about the possibility of you doing one in April in India.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have different activities going on in
Okay.
different countries.
Mm-hmm.
We are already bringing, bureaucrats, politicians, and senior educators from different countries to be a part of our association, our movement,
Good.
and we are also asking them to, organize these conferences at their local level. Right?
Excellent.
However, what we'll be doing is we'll be, you are aware about the different organizations that we're also running, and you have also interviewed Rukoya about GEARD. So
Right.
under GEARD, we will be organizing various conferences, and these will be quarterly conferences. However, under Project Education, we will be organizing maybe one conference in 15 days' time.
Oh, wow. Wow. So would it be
The idea of
open?
education is to sensitize schools first, because until
Okay.
and unless schools will get complete information about sustainable development goals
Mm-hmm.
and how they can play a part, for making a better planet, for creating better communities, they will
Mm-hmm.
not be able to work with their students.
Okay, great, great. This is really fantastic. I just how everything's getting done so seamlessly, and you look so great. There's not a bit of tiredness I see in your face. It's like it just seems to just happen, like with no effort. And I've never seen like something come together like so simple, like no, it just gets done. And usually it's a lot of talk and it takes months and years and whatever. But this is like, this is what we're going to do. Boom, boom, boom. It's done. It's
You know, the
fantastic.
the the art of getting things done is to make them simple.
The art of
If you
getting things
complex
done is to
things,
just
you'll
make
not be
them
able to do it.
simple. Correct. And another thing that happens is the egos come into play. And so when egos into play, then nothing's going to get done because everybody's about me, 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 me. And so if there's no egos and you can focus on the big
So
picture,
this is the beauty of working with students, and
right?
this is the benefit of working on sustainable development goals.
Mm-hmm.
We are not working alone. Project education is not an entity, it's a project.
Right.
And we are also joining hands with various entities and organizations worldwide.
Mm.
We have recently collaborated with two organizations in Europe, and these two organizations are Roundtable Global in London, United Kingdom, and then another organization is the Opeduca project in Netherlands. They are working on sustainable development goals. They are working on different goals,
Mm-hmm.
and they are already sensitizing younger generation to work towards sustainable development goals. Now,
Good.
the beauty of project education is that we are not an entity. So, there is no competition when it comes to sustainable development. This is, the only, benefit of working on SDG is to collaborate.
That's
Until
it.
and unless you learn the value of collaboration, you will not be able to achieve your goals.
Correct.
Here we are collaborating
Yes.
not only with students, but not only with the experts, but also with different organizations,
Correct. Correct.
right?
And
And
so there's
hence we are
different
asking,
levels of collaborating, different levels. So
right?
multi-level collaboration, which is really good.
and hence they are also playing their part. So they are also making minor changes in their functionality so that they can also incorporate project education's vision, and they can float that vision in their respective countries.
Right. Excellent, excellent, Himanshu. I'm really just. Is there anything else that you would like to share? That you was talking earlier about some sort of a, like an awards kind of a thing that will be happening also.
But, we at the end of the day we are humans. The only thing that majority of humans work for is to get recognition for the efforts that they have put in their work. And this is the way majority of the corporate and education institutions are working. We thought, and this is the right way. If you're doing something phenomenal, you should be recognized for your efforts.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, since students will be working on it, since education institutions will be working on it, why not recognize their efforts? So gradually, yes, we'll be coming up with various awards,
Good.
and these awards are global awards, not country-specific awards. And we'll be inviting, people all across the globe to nominate themselves for these awards and showcase the work that they are doing. And award is not just the idea of recognizing their efforts, but also bringing their efforts on the forefront so that we can also educate masses about what other people are doing in different countries, different part of the world.
Very good. So global awards, global awards. So it's to recognize the, like you said, the human side needs to be recognized and acknowledged for
Mhm.
doing the great things that one does. And so why not? It should be done, especially when it comes to children, to be able to, for them to be recognized and acknowledged for the wonderful things that they're doing each and every day is a great thing. And it should be a celebration of all. I mean, each and every one should be celebrated. And, you can do for outstanding or whatever. Great. Anything else you would like to share with us, Himanshu?
I would like to talk about how project education will work in future, not present,
Mm-hmm.
because right now we are only sensitizing students about research-based practices and how they can inculcate research-based practices in their lifestyle. But gradually, the main aim of project education is not just to educate them. Right? The idea is to innovate solutions which can counter the concerns which they are facing in their local communities
Mm-hmm.
and global communities.
Okay.
So it's like thinking global, act local. So this is what we
Thinking
are
global
working
at
at.
local. Very good. I like that. Thinking global at local. Very good.
And, and what we are trying to do is we are trying to create an ecosystem wherein we will be evaluating all the solutions, all the innovations created by these students, and then we'll be joining hands with our diplomats to implement these solutions at local level first to see how credible these solutions are, whether these are scalable or not, whether these are easily implementable or not, whether it can cater to a vast community or this is only for a small section of the society. Based on these evaluations, we'll be reaching out to different countries, we'll be reaching out to their governments and different organizations, and we'll be asking them to implement these solutions. So at the end of the day, we are not just empowering students to innovate solution, but we are also creating social entrepreneurs from these students.
Nice. Social entrepreneurs. Lovely.
So
Mm-hmm.
these students, when they will be expanding in different countries or different communities, and they'll be running their solutions, and we will assess them completely. So it's our job to make these solutions to a global level, to different countries, to different communities, and to implement these solutions by the time they reach the age of 18. And after 18, we'll hand over everything to them so that they can lead the show. Because at the end of the day, they have created the solution,
At the
right?
end of the day,
However,
they've created their solution.
however, however, during this process, they will be a critical part of this particular journey. So they will be working closely with different governments. They'll be working closely with different organizations, and they'll be assisting them that how these solutions can be implemented and can be
Nice.
tweaked as per the local requirements.
Mm. So engaging and empowering young minds.
True.
You know, this is really a wonderful, I just want to ask you, Himanshu, what
Mhm.
motivates you?
You know, when you work for the betterment of the society, that in itself is a very big motivation.
Okay.
And I don't think that you need any other motivation other than working for people. At
Mm.
the end of the day, you are, you know, for me, if let's say I'm only thinking from for my own family, you know, my own let's say neighborhood, right? I want my family to grow. I want my neighborhood to grow, and I want all of us to live a healthy lifestyle. To be able to do that, we need to understand the problems that we are facing at a
Mm-hmm.
much bigger level. And then we need to break it down and we need to find solutions which we can implement or apply
Mm-hmm.
at a local level so that we can counter these global challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself is a power packed motivation for me to work with communities, to work with people, to educate them, to empower them so that they can work. So the
Right.
idea is, I, you know, the way I am working is, I am educating others so that millions of people can work instead of me alone working on one particular goal.
Mm. So it sounds like to me you started central with your family unit and then outwards to your local community, global. So global, central, central, global. And so that's the way that we need to look. We shouldn't just be homing in on, and that would motivate you because at the end of the day, you're looking at your immediate circle of influence and outwardly. And so it's nice to have that kind of vision, Himanshu, and to be more than just central but also global. So that's fantastic. Anyway, we're sort of winding down to the last few moments. So any last comments you'd like to make? I really appreciate that.
The only thing that I want to say to people is to join hands with Project Education.
Okay.
And not only Project Education, but any organization which is working towards social development goal, or in a layman language, which is working for social causes.
Hmm.
Any organization, be it a climate organization, health organization, educational organization, and work with them. Understand the ground level challenges that these organizations are facing and communities are facing at local level, and try to innovate solutions which are required not for today but also for future. This is our planet. This is
Okay.
our home, and it is our responsibility to safeguard our home.
Okay. All right. So on that note, I have to now finish up. So I appreciate it. I appreciate collaborating, connecting with you in this project education, and moving forward. I want to be here to do whatever I can do to
Mhm.
support in any way I can. So I want to thank you for coming on, Himanshu. I appreciate it, and
Thank you.
all the very best.
Pleasure of mine.
Your intentions are in the right place, so it will be a success because your intentions are, you can hear that, the passion and the dedication. And so, thank you. And so to the viewers, your level of consciousness is the gateway to the future. Thank you.